All right, we are live on YouTube. Let's go. Okay, so today's lesson, I'm going to be going over Barchart, one of the tools that I use. Let me actually pull up Barchart really quick on my screen. Just click share. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to be keeping up with the chat. So today I'm going to show you how to find winning stocks, okay, on Barchart. Let me share my screen. Google Chrome, Barchart, share. Let's go. All right, y'all ready for this? Y'all ready to learn something new, man? If y'all got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be keeping up with that on the side here. But all right, let's get at it. So with Barchart, this is one of my favorite websites. Let me actually put my phone on do not disturb so I don't get disturbed. All right. I'm going to show y'all a few things that I like using on Barchart as far as screeners, options flow, as well as some news and educational stuff. So if you're new to Barchart, this is where essentially you can get a lot of daily news. Their Twitter is great as well. Their socials. I do a lot of the videos on YouTube as well as Instagram. Twitter keeps you posted as well. So if you come over here to the Learn tab, let's say you're new to investing and trading, you can click on Site Education. And here you can find a lot of videos, including how to navigate the website. So you're going to see a lot of these videos with me in it. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. So I can click this. All right. So if you want to learn anything, literally it's here. Okay, so you'll be able to click here. Also, archive webinars is a great place where you can come and learn as well. So if you want to learn different topics on anything from ETFs to gap trading to options, anything, it's going to be here as well. So you'll be able to come here for these learning tools and classes. Now, if you want to stay updated, like I do, on a daily basis of opportunities and news and stuff like that, you can click on free newsletters and come in here and, yeah, you want to stay updated on dividends, commodities, pre-market bulletin, unusual options activity, chart of the day, as well as some of these membership emails, bar chart educational emails, webinars, and market on close, which is just a really cool show they do that kind of keeps you up with the market, man. It's like a weekly recap of the market. I actually love watching it. So you can go over to the YouTube and check that out. All right. So if you want a free trial to YouTube as well, or bar chart, you can click the link in the YouTube as well. So if you go to my bio, there's a link for a free 30-day trial so you can get access. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm going to be showing you today is free. So you don't have to have, a membership or anything to pay for this, but some of the options data, that is something you have to pay for. Now, if you're new to stocks and you're like, where can I find trades, right? The investing tab is a great place to start if you're not familiar with maybe using screeners and you need a little bit of preset templates for yourself. You can come in here and get themed stocks, right? So if you're interested in, like, maybe you heard them talk about clean energy, right? You can click here and get a list of clean energy stocks. Then you can scan these by what you need, right? So you can click screen and this will allow you to actually put in different settings. Let's say you want, let's say we'll do a volume, right? So we want volume as an indicator, and we also want price as an indicator. Let's say last price is what we want as an indicator. And then I also have a watch list that I have. So I can actually put my own personalized watch list. So I can say, hey, stocks in the S&P 500. And this is a watch list that I created off of one of their watch lists for S&P 500 holdings. So I only want S&P 500 stocks. You can also put this in as, like, you can say index, right? So you can say index groups if you want to do it that way. So you can do it here as well in case anybody wanted to be curious about how to do that. You can say, hey, I want to look at these particular stocks. So for me, the S&P 500, and I want the last price to be less than 300 and volume greater than 100, or let's say 1 million. Let's say 1 million, right? So I want a high volume stock, and then I also want it to be clean energy. Okay, so we're looking for a clean energy stock. S&P 500 trades over 1 million with a price less than 300. Okay, here's your stocks, right? Tesla's in here for clean energy as well. It's below 300. Next Era Energy, First Solar, Enphase. These are all names that you've probably heard of, and this allows you to search for them if you're looking for them. Okay. This is not a stock recommendation or anything. I just wanted to show you how to do that in case you're looking for stocks, right? You can click on any of these lists and do the same based on whatever your criteria are. You can also use a candlestick patterns if you're a trader looking for particular patterns on reversals or breakouts. This is across, you can do it for ETFs. They've got option screeners for a lot of the different strategies that you might use for income strategies. Or a couple of my favorites here are going to be unusual options volume. You have that here. So this is where you're going to come and basically be able to see like, hey, these are big institutional trades essentially, and you're looking for some unusual activity. And a lot of times in this case, it can be low open interest and high volume, meaning that traders are stepping in on these particular trades. Notice how this was only, well, hold on. Let's see. This is the put call. They have the, well, because all right, so this is with the volume of the puts versus calls. So you'll be able to see which one of these particular stocks are having a lot of volume increases. And this is going to tell you where that unusual volume is. And then the put call is going to tell you what they're trading, right? In this case, the put call open interest ratio or the volume ratio is 3 times, which means that it's 3.0. It's 3 times the amount of puts versus calls. Okay, so the put call ratio is another great tool. This is something that I like to use it for as well. Like let's say we want to look for something high volume. So let's go to Tesla, right? And then we'll go to the put call ratio right here. Let me check the chat and see if I have any questions. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the chat. If you're if this is making sense, drop some ones in the chat. If it's not, make sure you drop some twos. Or just drop your questions. I got some answers for you if I can. Now, the put call ratio is one of my favorite tools here that you can use. This is going to tell us what option traders are trading when it comes to a stock, right? If this is increasing, this is saying that people are buying puts, right? So at a time like this where the red, let's click on, let's turn the volume off and look at open interest. When I'm looking at open interest, you can see that as Tesla stock price went up, people were buying more puts, right? Now, as Tesla stock price fell, people were buying more calls or selling puts. Okay, so I use the open interest to kind of gauge what are option traders doing, right? So when the price is high, they're betting against it, right? And when the price is lower, they're buying more calls. It's as simple as that, right? A lot of great things in here as well as expected move. Gamma exposure is another great tool. This will tell you kind of where the price walls are. All right, so you'll be able to pay attention to these. This is a little more advanced. We'll go over this another time because I do want to keep this video short. All right. Now, so you've got a lot of these tools that you can come in and use, whether you want to use the news, like let's say we click on one of these news things right here. Right, you'll be able to actually find these stocks that you can click on as well and get more information. You can click interactive charts, which is another great tool here. I actually have these templates that I created. So if you're on here, there's a ton of different indicators you can use, right? So you can type in whatever indicator you want. It's got options stuff in here as well. So I like to use options open interest, options volume. There's a whole bunch of other preset indicators in here, but I like that you can click here and get templates. Now, if you're a trader or an investor and you know how to do chart analysis or you understand technical analysis, you can set up your own templates here, right? But if you have no clue what you're doing and you kind of want the wheels on the training wheels when it comes to charting, there's also these in here where they're already preset with tools, right? So you can come in here and say, I want RSI with moving averages, right? Or you can say, hey, I want to see the golden cross and death cross, because you'll hear that a lot when people are saying, oh, it's a death cross. This is the 50 crossing the 200, right, is a dead cross, or up would be a golden cross. So MACD versus RSI, you can literally, choose which one you want, right? TTM squeeze, a lot of great indicators and preset chart templates in here, which is a great tool, especially for beginners if you don't know how to do this, but it'll kind of tell you what to look for, right? And then you can kind of build a strategy off of that. Now, a lot of other fundamental data as well, if you want to look at financials. I don't use financials as much, but if you do want to come in here and look at any of their income statements as well as past earnings and stuff, you can do that. There's also analyst ratings in here. Let's see if you want to look at stuff like this. Also, another great tool is insider trading, right? Now, I love this because while there's a lot of reasons why people sell, there's only one reason why they buy. So sometimes when you see these buys come in, right, like this guy just bought nearly $300,000 worth of IBM stock, you want to figure out, well, does he expect the stock to continue higher? Now, if you do want to find stocks like that, insider trading, politicians insider trading, that's available on Barchart. Okay, so you can see politicians trading, right? So you can see what they're buying. You can see a lot of politicians are buying up this dip. Okay. Also, you can switch this over to the insider trading for different stocks, so you can see who's buying stocks in these different companies. Now, if I click on one of these and I go to insider trading, I can also include politicians in here as well. So if there's any politicians that are buying stocks, like a congressman here is selling, I can include that into the search as well. Okay, so there's a lot of great tools you can use here. And like I said, if you need any education, there's a whole learning center for options as well. So if you don't understand anything, you can come here and learn. You click on one of these, it literally breaks it down for you. Okay, and there's a video to go along with it. Okay, so I'm going to start doing more of these lives. Let me check the chat, make sure I don't have any questions before I go. But these are a lot of the tools that you can use on here. All right, if you're looking for ETFs, you can literally come to the top ETFs right here. One thing that I personally like to look for is volume. Now, if you like leverage ETFs, this is another cool thing. Like if you're looking for, let's say you want to look at bearish ETFs, triple leverage bearish, right? These are short ETFs essentially. Okay. Like if I take off this, these are all going to be negative ETFs. All right. Now, if I do triple leverage, right? Triple leverage to the positive side, you're going to see these triple leverage ETFs. Now, what I like to do is I like to look for volume. So you can change the view to technical and take a look at the historical volume or average volume here and who's trading the most, right? So this is kind of funny because this is one of my favorite stocks to trade. This is not financial advice, but this is just one of my favorite stocks to trade here. But this is a great way to find stocks to trade. And if you don't know what to look for, you can click one of these top lists, like even most active options here. It's a great place to start. This will tell you where all the options volume is. And then you can click on Flipcharts. Like you don't have to go individually look at all of these charts. You can click on Flipcharts, put on the setting that you like. Let's say I want to do my put call ratio and RSI, and then I can flip through these charts and find my trade, right? I can come in here and do my analysis and charting all in this one place and not have to leave this area. And if I like it, what if I'm looking for something specifically? I can screen this and I can save it for later. It's like if I want to save this, I can then set up alerts for it to send me these setups. This is the best thing ever. Okay, so I love Barchart, and then I can save it as a watch list so I can watch these particular things. And before I go, I do want to show you what sets Barchart apart. Is because one, the data fields that they offer, so you can come learn about all of these different data fields and screeners, but also here on the special symbols, like they have how many stocks are above the 200-day moving average. So like let's say we click on one of these, you can see that 32% of stocks are trading above the 200-day average, right? And you may ask yourself, what does that matter? Well, when it's lower, right, this is when people are buying. So if only 17% of the market, right, which means that 23% of the market, or excuse me, 83% of the market is now trading lower, right? So if 83% of the market is down, that means that a lot of stocks are on sale. So these are a lot of times create sort of, if the higher this goes, the more you need to be in fear, but the lower it goes, meaning that hell, a lot of stocks are down. So you want to look for opportunities when these are lower. And I actually watch these on my watch list. So I have a a personal watch list here that I watch the change in these, right? So if it goes down, that means stocks are falling. But as this 20-day moving average, you can see that tech stocks are going up right now in trends. So you can kind of follow these. I love them. Plus, you can create different portfolios, alerts, a whole lot of stuff here. Great tools here. But that's bar chart, folks. This is how you find trades. Let me show you a cool strategy, maybe some of my screeners, right? I'll give you a little bonus here. So under organized screeners, one of the cool screeners that I have for the options, I'm going to have a video coming out soon about this, but they have an options call screener, right? So you can come over here to the loans call screener, but I have one set up to where I'm looking for, particularly in this case, I'm looking for high volume and low open interest, right? And what this is telling me is that the beginning of the day, this particular contract started off with nobody holding it, right? Or essentially a low amount of contracts being held on it. But then throughout the day, the volume kicked up, right? Looking at about 100% plus gains in the amount of contracts being traded in this particular contract. So what I'm looking for is that traders are essentially saying that I want this contract. And the only way you can do that is if you track this trade and say that if the open interest has increased, that means that that volume turned into new positions. And so that could be institutional. I mean, and so look, we'll look at this really quick because I do like to look at the premium. So in this case, after running the screener, I'm looking for low open interest, meaning that nobody was here when the day began. But 5,000 contracts, over 5,000 contracts were traded during the day. So somebody's doing something, right? And so what I'm looking at is one, premium. How much did they spend, right? I'm doing it in an amount of money. I want to see, are there institutional trades being made here? And so at a 485 strike, you can not only watch the flip charts for the option strike prices, right? So a lot of people, I remember when I used to try to tell people about option strike charts, but they're only on certain platforms. Well, on Barchart, you can actually pull up the options strike price contracts as well. So a lot of these may be newer contracts, but you can let's see, we'll change the bars here. So you can actually look at the contract prices here as well and go through these different contracts on the actual chart. But also you can look at the underlying asset here, right? So you can say that, okay, people are buying calls on the QQQ, right? And they're buying a what? Let's look at this. They're buying a 485 strike on the QQQ with an expiration in June, okay? June of that, they bought leaps of 2027, okay? So we look at the flip chart and they're essentially saying that the price of the QQQ will break above this level right here at 485. And that's not by chance, right? If we can break over the highs we had here, we had some resistance here. If we can break over that, they're essentially saying that the price will come here and by 2027, it's going to be beyond this, right? So it essentially lets me know what institutional traders are doing, right? What type of moves are they making? And when you look at the volume that we had here, this is historic levels of volume, right? So yeah, you can see a lot of people stepping in at this price level. And then let's say I want to look at the put call ratio. Like I said, I can change the templates to whatever I want. And you can see that even the put call ratio is lower than it has been, right? So as the market was higher, people were trading against it. But as it dropped lower, you can see that puts were taking their profits. We dropped down into oversold and a whole lot more calls started being traded here. So you can see, essentially now this is a long call options screener. If you're looking for puts, you can switch it up here and go for puts. If you like to trade vertical spreads, you can do that here as well. So, and let's say you do like doing vertical spreads. It's cool. They're actually creating let's say we go over to Palantir, right? You can go to the vertical spread on Palantir. and then pull up the profit loss charts here. All right. And so you can get a lot of that data with the Greeks and everything. And then you can see how much your profit or loss will be in the case of this particular trade. Okay. So there's a lot of great tools here, but that was just a little gem I wanted to give you. I don't want to confuse you, but if you're new to trading and investing, this is the website you want to use. It's a great place to get started. Even when you click on the S&P 500, the SPX, it'll give you related ones. So if you want to look at, what are the top holdings for the SPY ETF, you can see that here. Okay, so this is a great way for new people to find out, where do I need to be looking in the market for opportunities, right? So you can follow ETFs and index funds, or you can start using screeners and stuff to find exactly what you're looking for: penny stocks, insider trading from politicians and employees, and different screeners. So that's it, folks. Didn't want to keep you long. Let me make sure I don't have any questions, and then I will head out of here. But that is it for today. I appreciate you all watching. If you want to get Barchart, just make sure you click the link in my bio. It'll give you a free trial if you want to access any of this options flow data. But a lot of these lists and stuff are totally free to use. So this will give you a lot of ways that you can find trades. And get them emailed to you. Don't forget about that. And if you want to learn, like I said, you can come here to the site education page. There's a lot of great videos. I also created a playlist on my page as well, where you can see some of the videos that I've created, where you can learn how to use these different tools that are on Barchart. Okay. So if you got any questions, make sure you all drop them in the comments. I'm always here to help. If you got a video or a different, topic you want me to cover, just drop it in the comments. I'll run you a video and do a live. Y'all just stay tuned here. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that follow and subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications, because I want to start doing more lives like this. Okay.